great loss for all of us. And the gifts are all the people who've supported us, our allies from FSU University, the Tallahassee community, and all of you in the media, of which we've had tremendous support. Social media, podcasters, print, and all other aspects of helping us produce and deliver this very important communication. So thank you. We are grateful.
Ruth, you mentioned the Markel Act in your comments, and I know so many people are wondering, will the Markel family be able to enjoy the protections of the Markel Act that is named for Dan?
Well, the Markel Act actually has, it's specific to, just to answer the question very specifically, it's part of having a civil or a criminal offense against the spouse of a person who has been deceased. We have had access because of the Markel Act. So as it was passed, it opened up. Wendy had invited us to the bar mitzvahs. We had a little bit of an opportunity to have communications in some cases, but they're highly choreographed. It's not a natural process. We're looking for when we can communicate via email, via phone. We have everything is done still through Wendy's devices, let's call it, and time frames. So we're looking for a more natural opportunity.
Mrs. Markel, do you believe that everyone who participated in this crime has been held accountable?
I'll let other people in my family talk about that.
Okay.
Well, first of all, just one little side thing. We were originally invited to the first bar mitzvah, and then we were disinvited from it. So just to clarify.
Yes.
My comments. First of all, I'm very, very grateful to the jury. They were very attentive. I watched them carefully. They listened. They obviously analyzed and came to a just decision. We're grateful to the judge for his patience and his guidance and that everybody followed the law, etc. We're grateful to all of you guys here. I can't begin to tell you. I always, to me, journalists were never, they're into just post stuff in the papers, TV or whatever, but you guys have really, really, it's been 11 years, you've supported us, and because of you, this case never went cold. And I can't believe people stop me when I'm in the Dillard's or I'm in the wine store or at a restaurant. My claim to fame, unfortunately, is I'm Dan's dad. But it's so heartwarming to see this community, the people, and because of you around the world, there aren't enough words to tell you how grateful we all are. This is, even though it's joyful or I'm happy decision that's come out, it's still very, very difficult. And we still don't have the full access to the boys that we'd love to have. They're very, very controlled, very short, and very far and few between. And it's, we just want anybody and everybody who had anything to do with Dan's death brought to justice. And until that day happens, I will not be fully happy individual.
And Phil, one of the, I think it's safe to say, one of the star witnesses in this trial was Rob Adelson. What was it like for you to watch him up there testifying for the government?
Rob Adelson and I have, we actually haven't seen each other for a long time, but we do communicate via text, telephone, etc. He is an incredible individual. How this guy happened to come out of this family is beyond my understanding.
I think we respect his bravery and his courage in doing what he did, and we really, will be very honored to see him and connect with him, but in particular, we really respect his courage.
And Phil or Shelley can answer this. Did this one feel different? You had the hitmen who were prosecuted, you had McManawa, but now father to mother-in-law. There's a different kind of relationship between those two. To see her there getting found guilty, what was that like?
I have to think of how to answer that
Shelley can
question.
answer, let Shelley answer now.
It's hard. Each one is very gratifying, obviously, and we're happy with the results. This one hurts, I think, a little more because of who it is. I made a very short speech, but I think what I did differently this time is the harm to families, not just only ours, but to everybody involved in this mess. And so many children without parents, without uncles, aunts, cousins, etc. It's so hard to understand. She was an educated individual. She was a kindergarten teacher. Where did this come from? I don't know. I'm not smart enough to figure this out.
I was just gonna add that there is a certain satisfaction in this verdict, despite the fact that anyone going to jail is a hard thing to imagine, and obviously hard to, it's emotional, but I would say there's satisfaction in this verdict, and I would say that we're hopeful, really hopeful, that this will open the door for the future generations to, connect, for the cousins to connect, for, rebuilding a relationship with my nephews, their grandchildren, my children's cousins. This is, we hope that this will shed light, this will be the sort of element of truth that will be there for them to see. It'll be on the record for those kids to know in the future, and we would, welcome the opportunity to reconnect.
And Shelley, what do you think Dan would say today, watching his parents up there giving such eloquent, amazing victim impact statements, particularly Phil's last question?
I think he'd be really proud. Daddy was one to do presentations. He was the, really amazing writer in our family, and I think his parents, would have made him very proud.
One question, what were the thoughts that went through your mind as you saw the defense strategy develop to kind of embrace the evidence against the daughter and the son? A mother, in essence, throwing their kids under the bus and acting as a prosecutor for the defense attorneys and calling them Markel Danny and all this stuff that they're trying to embrace the evidence and pretend that they care so much about what happened to them, Markel.
Maybe those are better questions for the state's attorney.
Yeah, but I think the defense had to do their job, and I think that we have really looked at all the sides of the story, and thank you again. Thank you
I'd say
all.
we're very lucky that state's attorneys and their team did such an amazing job in all of that. So thank you, everybody.
Please, just everybody. We're really great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Safe travels.
Thank you.
Guys, we're happy to talk to y'all. We would like to talk privately with the family for a minute, and then George will answer questions. I know that's what you're going to want. If you all want to come on.
It was nothing like this for Charlie's trial. All these media folks here. This is like probably 10 times the number of media folks here than there were for Charlie.
You always try to find the bigger spots.
It's like the #1 covered crime case now, I think, in America. So that's what it's turned out to be. Press conference here after the victim's family.
I know. I mean, guys,
Not freedom.
Yeah, I guess he's there now.
I'll make room for you.
Thank
You're welcome.
Maybe through there.
Where'd you go?
I'm right here. I'm good. I'm good here. I'm good.
You're good there?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
There's Steve Cohen.
Hi. Carl, I'm happy there's justice.
Yes. Amen.
Is there a,
Yeah, let's go in a little more.
can we go to a bigger spot or yeah?
Yeah, we're like right on the edge of this 3-story drop off here.
Dude, that was incredible. We're like, get him.
Your bodyguard.
Sorry I pushed you back.
I need to be somewhere where I can. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
And then back.
Do you want to go in front of me? Sure.
Yes, it's a guilty verdict, all counts. First degree murder, count 1. Conspiracy to commit first degree murder, count 2. And count 3, which was solicitation to commit first degree murder. Donna bursted out with a shriek sound when the first verdict was announced. And basically, the judge had to excuse the jurors and scold her and warn her that she'll be removed from the rest of the proceedings if she doesn't contain herself. And what we also have then was her proceed to be shaking her head and trembling in anger and hate. It seemed like the rest of the proceedings continually shaking her head. Not one tear. That's right, John, not one tear.
Are available at the judge's gallery.
So we're expecting this Georgia Kappelman to make a statement here in a few minutes. That's what we're waiting on. Yeah. I was live streaming the verdict was announced as being reached. So I came up here right away and we heard the verdict announced about 5 minutes later. Pretty much there's a consensus from most all people here that it's going to be decided within a few hours. It's not much of an overwhelming case. Right now it's about 8:26 on this Thursday night, 4th of September, here in Tallahassee, Leon County Courthouse. There's like 10 times the media here compared to last time.
Good day for justice for Dan.
You're anonymous. Heard in a little bit, but you know, we all got to get our shots. Is that better, Kevin? A little bit, but maybe I'm gonna try to tighten up. I'll see where.
Okay, what is
I tighten up a little bit, yeah.
I think without saying the number one question people are asking in their minds and want to ask the state attorney's office is, when is Wendy going to be arrested next? So, there was even more evidence that wasn't presented than they could have. They could have called folks in rebuttal, like Dan's attorney, Stephen Webster. He talked about how he thought he was going to maybe be called in rebuttal. I think it was a daytime decision made by the prosecution yesterday not to call him, but we're on the third floor. We're outside the room that the Markels are being talked to by the prosecution. It says 301 there on the wall, 301 Northwest Judicial Chamber, so they're able to use the judicial chambers to meet with the victim's family. That's where the victim's family, past that double door there on the right, is where the Markels are being talked to by the state attorney, Jack Campbell, along with Georgia Appleman and Sarah Dugan. We're expecting them out momentarily. All major news media outlets here for true crime covering this case. Am I annoying people or something? There's Sarah, they're getting ready to come out. There's Jason Newland. There's Special Agent Pat Sanford. Special Agent Sanford, he's no doubt thrilled that all this work he's been doing all these years is paying off. There's still more dividends to be paid.
Yeah.
There's the team coming out right now.
Nobody's gonna do that. What's it like in this moment? What was it like to have this defendant be found guilty?
I think I just feel kind of honored to be able to deliver this win for the Markels. You know, we've heard so much about a win for the Edelmans, a win for the Abelsons, and everything that was lost in those efforts. So it's just been really cool to be a part of this win.
During one of the pre-trials, you said these trials that have become my life. It's a lot of trials at this point. Talk about what happens when you're a prosecutor and you have to continue to follow cases like this one.
Well, I mean, I do have other cases. People don't know that. There are other cases. And I care about, you know, all of them, but obviously this has become sort of part of my DNA after investing so much blood, sweat, and tears into this case and getting justice. So yeah, it's been an epic battle.
Was this one tougher than Charlie's trial?
I don't know. I mean, I'm older, so I think it is. I think everyone's tougher than the last. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, more time passes and there's more stuff. There's more phones. There's more records. There's more emails. So it's a lot to organize, and it's a lot of little pieces to try to put together and try to create something cognizable that a jury can follow and get their head around.
Georgia, opening statements right out of the gate, Jackie Fulford appropriated Professor Markel's nickname, calling him Danny. A lot of people were upset about that. Did that bother you?
Not as much as it bothered some other folks. I understood what she was trying to do. It was not the classiest move, and I think she kind of realized that and seemed to correct that over the course of the trial, but yeah, probably not a great move.
And what about the amount of deliberations? Is roughly the same as Charlie, maybe a few minutes more, but not much. That surprised me because some people were predicting a longer deliberation.
A little bit. I actually lost. I thought it would be slightly shorter, but I was being pretty ambitious. But yeah, it wouldn't have surprised me if it had been more difficult for them because it was a large puzzle that kind of had to be put together, but I guess they got what they needed and they knew what they had to do.
Will this be the last prosecution?
You are asking the question.
Good job.
Why are you that guy?
Were you surprised by the defense strategy of throwing Wendy and Charlie under the bus? And was the adoptive admissions ruling something that you pre-planned or something that you all came up with at the last moment?
We had a few incarnations of how to deal with the fact that she had adopted Charlie's really ridiculous story previously, and we didn't want her to be able to distance herself from that and create a new, better defense, which she did seem to kind of try to be doing. So we did want to try to shove that on her and then try to explain that to the jury. Okay, here's this whole other defense that she already adopted, and it's complicated, and it has all its pushback that goes with it. So it did feel like a difficult minefield to wade through to be able to explain all that to the jury, but we wanted to make sure they understood that, hey, she's already committed to this defense that's a loser, and now she's trying to switch it up and go to this whole other place, and you've got to pick a lane and can't be both. So I think that's kind of what we were trying to do, so we're really successful.
It sounded like the new investigation developed a lot of crazy evidence, including y'all were planning to use some phone calls that you were not able to use at the trial. Is the sealing of this evidence going to be unsealed once now that the one has been convicted, or do you know?
I don't know the answer to that. Yeah.
And you cannot still comment, I guess, about
I
the
cannot.
details.
Yeah. It's less sexy than you imagine it to be, but I don't think I should comment on it since it's sealed.
How did you feel when you found out that Donna was not going to be testifying? Something tells me you were probably salivating at the idea of cross-examining her over the last 11 years.
Yeah, it's not like I was gonna, wow, you guys are some amazing new stuff right now, but I did put tons of preparation into that. I was a little bit like sad when I took my binder that had 110 tabs and packed it away. So yeah, I was a little surprised. She seems like somebody that would want to tell her story, but it's trickier and trickier when all these stories are out there, and she would have to navigate a lot of stuff. Up there. So I do understand why she made the decision she did, and I think it was a smart one, but I was kind of expecting her to testify.
What was the new evidence that you thought in this trial might have made a difference that when you came across that you introduced?
I think the fleeing to Vietnam didn't hurt, especially since she denied it. She could have just said, no, to Vietnam. I didn't want to get arrested.
What about the VIN number?
She didn't do that. She oversold.
The VIN number and the planner. Like,
Yeah.
Can you talk about that? Like, how did you guys find that? Was it an aha moment?
Yeah. Kind of dumb luck. That thing is so dense, and there's a bunch of them. So we've just been sort of perusing them, and somebody just stumbled upon it and had an aha.
What about Rob Ailes' testimony, how key was that?
I think it was important, didn't you? I thought he was so genuine, and
Amazing.
what a guy to be able to do that. It's a terrible situation for him to be put in, and to be able to rise above that and do the right thing. It's really nice.
Did you all wait for this trial to put him on? Why did he not testify previously?
I just didn't want to do it to him unless I felt like it was absolutely necessary, and I really felt like we needed it.
Georgia, does Wendy have reason to be worried tonight?
You said that word. That's a bad word.
Bad word. Let me ask you another question.
Worried's a bad word.
Well, last time.
Should we say stay tuned? Do we need to stay tuned?
You can stay tuned.
All right.
Yay.
One other question for me. Your father played football. I understand. It was my first Knowles game, and I take all the credit for the
It's a
Bama
great
win.
one.
Yeah.
Lucky you.
I take all the credit
Go
for that.
Knowles.
And I found out, maybe through the grapevine, that someone else in your family is a professional female golfer, or that you're close to. If I'm right about that. Maybe not, but do you get the
Sounds cool.
Do you think you get that competitive spirit from, you know, from dad, from your family?
Yes, I think both sides of my family are extremely competitive, and if you came to game night, you could see pieces being
The most important question, do you have a fifth red suit?
I don't know, I'll work on that.
Number five, number five.
Checker five.
For chapter five.
Last year you were going, it seemed like the state was going to call him, but ultimately this time around, no one called him to the stand. Why?
Because we didn't want to tangle with him unless we had to, and we felt like we were able to successfully get out the story that came from his trial and marry Donna to it as much as we needed to without
If I'm not mistaken, this was the first trial where you guys were able to access WhatsApp messages? Was there a new am I right about that? Was there a new technological advance?
I can't remember if we had any WhatsApp messages last time, but they are encrypted, so we really do have to get them off the device itself, so we were able to use them.
And was that related to getting from Donna's device? Yeah.
Was Cheryl's case more polished? Does the demonstrative seem to be up a notch from before?
Yes,
I'm
that's
just
because I
trying to-
didn't make them. I only directed. I did get some wonderful volunteer help, so I don't know if she wants to shout it or not, but.
Were there other things that were new and improved? Some of the witnesses even seemed to be testifying a little smoother than before.
I don't know. Did they? I don't know.
It's a blur. If the trial
Yeah,
had come
it's all
forward,
one long day.
if the trial had come forward a year ago, you wouldn't have all the evidence from the new investigation. How significant was to have that note from Rena Bernhardt?
I thought it was great. I thought it was, when she showed up with that, it was like Christmas Day.
They did a good job.
It felt like this trial, you did mention Wendy's name more. Is that just because of who the defendant was, or is there a strategy behind more evidence against Wendy coming out?
I think it was because of who the defendant was and how important the motive was to establish, which largely arose from the communications between Donna and Wendy, so it ended up on.
You can say a little bit about the boys. I could feel the emotion. It seemed like it really resonated with the jury when you talked about.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Yeah, there's no justice for them, and I haven't done them any favors today, and I lose sleep over that fact. It's, you know, that, yeah, the family's just been totally destroyed, and things like that. Sometimes it feels a little bit like being a part of it, you know, so, yeah. I wish them nothing but the best, and I hope they can reconnect with their paternal relatives and yep.
Georgia needs to go to
You
sleep
guys.
now. Georgia hasn't slept in quite a while. You'll have a good night.
Thank you.
All right.
You guys have some stuff in that room. You guys rather quick as you can.
Thank you for remembering that or not.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and head out for dinner plans we had, but thanks for supporting this case. Glad we had some justice happening here, and we're gonna be coming back on a little bit later tonight, around 10 o'clock or so. So join us back then for more coverage on this case, and a great victory for the prosecution and justice today. Take care.
Well, let's put out say hi to these guys.